Canon EOS R50V. I have been really enjoying this camera so far, this APS-C size sensor, but I only had one RF lens, the 14 to 35 RF, which is the only lens I kept after I got rid of all my full frame and the R7 Canon cameras. But I kept this one. It is one of the smaller wide angle lenses in the RF line for full frame, with especially with the L series, and it's good. Look at the size right here. It may seem big, but it's very lightweight. It has image stabilization built in, which is important because the R50V does not have image stabilization. So you can turn that image stabilization on. It's got really good autofocus, and it's got the 3 rings that you can program. This is a good combo if you have an R50. But this was the only lens I had that was native. And then the other lens I had was this one right here, which I did another review for. This is the Sigma 18 to 35 1.8. And I have this little adapter here, EF to RF. And this has the variable ND, but I have a UV filter in there right now. But this is a variable ND. So this would be ideal for video shooters who want really shallow depth of field, and you can walk around and pump up that ND filter to stop down and get some really great shots, really great looking shots with this. Except this does not have image stabilization. Autofocus is a little noisy because this is a fairly old lens, and it's really heavy. So I wanted a better travel lens that I can shoot during the day and gets me all kinds of focal ranges, and there's really only one, and that is the 18 to 150. This is 3.5, f3.5 at the 18 mil, and then when you zoom all the way to 150, it stops down to 6.3. So that's a big drawback, but the benefits is the size of the lens. It has image stabilization in the lens. This is a pretty wide focal range you got here. The lens ring is a 55 millimeter. You have the zoom ring and then one programmable ring. I guess that would probably be manual focus. There's no other buttons on the lens because usually you'll have a manual focus, autofocus, and an image stabilizer switch. The lens, when collapsed, is about the same size as the R50V, but of course when you zoom in out, it gets longer. It almost doubles in length. When you get the lens, you just get the lens. It doesn't come with any lens pouch. It doesn't come with a lens hood. I don't know if they even make a lens hood. You'll have to look that up. But you don't get a lens hood. You don't get a lens pouch. You just get the lens when you get it. So I already know that in low light, this might not be the best lens to use. You'll have to get some artificial light to pump in there to get things well lit, properly exposed. But I was really interested in what the autofocus was like and going handheld. So here are some test shots of this indoors. Testing the Canon R50V with the 18 to 150. I have it at f6.3, which is the longest f-stop for the telephoto. Let's see if this steps down when I zoom in. Testing the autofocus on this lens too with the image stabilization. Seems to be good on the R50V. Okay, now I'm filming the dog, but it's through a cage. So I'm testing to see if the focus stays on the dog and doesn't rack to the cage. But when I zoom out, it's gonna probably rack to the cage. Yeah. Zooming in, let's see if it hits the dog. I'll tap to autofocus. There we go. Yeah, decent autofocus, decent image stabilization. So it's a 3.5. As soon as you go to a 24, you're already at an f4. Then you go to 35 millimeters, you're at an f5. At 50 millimeters, you're at a 5.6. At 70 millimeters, your 6.3, and then it stays at 6.3 all the way to 150. So there's not a lot of options when it comes to these APS-C lenses with image stabilization that works with it's silent autofocus, silent image stabilization. If you have an R50V, I think an 18 to 150, this is just a lens you have to get. Unless you only shoot video that needs to be shallow depth and you don't mind rigging it out, then yeah, get this system, which is, I think this is as far as price goes, the best value to get very cinematic looking shots. But for everything else, I would stick with the 18 to 150.